All right, we are live. Let's go ahead and do this. Hey, I just want to welcome everyone to Black Voices Matter, sponsored by Poetry in the Brew, Poetry in the Boro, and everyone listening on Facebook, listening on Zoom. We appreciate y'all coming through. We got a lot of talented poets, a lot of talented artists from all over Middle Tennessee. We got some folks out of Nashville, some folks out of Murfreesboro, some folks out of Smyrna. Should be a great night of poetry, art, peace, love, and change. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get started with our first poet of the night. You know him from Poetry in the Brew. I saw him perform the first time that I had the courage to perform poetry, and he really inspired me. Give it up for K.H.A.O.S.
Good evening. My name is K.H.A.O.S. I'd like to share with you this evening two poems. The first being Hatred, the second been entitled My Dream. Hatred. I've always hated white folks, though for the love of God, I don't know why. Perhaps it's because I'm from Mississippi, and I've watched too many of my people at their hands die. I remember Emmett Till, the way his brutal torture and murder made his mother cry. I remember the Scottsboro boys, 9 lives ruined because of some white girl's lie. Not to mention burning crosses, run off stock, shot cattle, barns full of grain on fire, plus roasted horses. But past people in the past did not hate as much. Still, their fear made them lost to us. I hate the white doctor, not just because of age. Remember Tuskegee, an experiment they called it. 40 years of untreated syphilis. What did that cost us? Forced sterilization, whole generations are not born. So how can we as a race of people even begin to mourn? Perhaps I'm just old and paranoid with all our men off the war, shot down by them and on our streets, police and each other. Prisons filled to the brim with father, son, husband-in-law, and brother. Who's left to fill the void? Our women, women without men, left to burden our fear and their sin? Tempted always by a bigger house, a faster computer mouse, men with money enough to be considered a spouse. Sooner, not later, forced to give in to someone with wealth and an evil grin. See how cold the white man's law? Flooding our neighborhoods with arms and snow already ready, while not allowing their hatred of my people to ever thaw. Still, some ask me what I hate them for. I've seen people fired at Christmas week with children at home, fired regardless of how well they perform, fired by people whose hearts have turned to stone, people whose hatred tells them black people don't belong. I hate them not because I think I'm right and they are wrong. I hate them because they dance not to the rhythm of life. They seem to have in their hearts no love, no song. They seem to vent their fear against any people that they think are morally strong. Then again, inside myself, just for having this hatred, I could possibly be wrong. Shalom. My dream. It's as if in my dream, such a frightening dream. I lay face down on filthy pavement in the rain. Arms stretched behind me, causing arthritic shoulder sockets to radiate unbearable pain. Knee weighing down hard on my already once broken neck. That feeling of life leaving, just as it had come, stressed, full of fright, painfully uncomfortable and wet. Evil was smiling down at me, face showing a hateful disdain, disgust, almost a sexually charged bloodlust, there for all the world to see. Sensing my demise, I cried out of tear-filled eyes, Mama, Mama! We'll meet again, graveside. There'll be no waiting on a third day for my spirit to rise. While the righteous world fights back shock and tears, the unrighteous worry about property, loss of revenue, all the while they're losing privilege being the greatest of fears. Why was Martin's dream so much different from mine? He traveled to the mountaintop, looked over, and yet he could not see that the bigotry of supremacy would still reign, and Satan's disciple would have a hold on morality and justice. Lo, over all these 50 years. Thank you. My name is K.H.A.O.S.
Right. All right, I was trying to, I was having a little technical difficulty showing something, showing K.H.A.O.S's info. We will get that out to you. He is a member of Gideon's Army, and you can catch him at Poetry in the Brew. We're going to keep it moving to our next poet. Before I bring her to the mic, I just want to remind you, we are accepting donations for Black Lives Matter Nashville, as well as Song Southerners on New Ground, and Gideon's Army as well. So throughout the night, we'll be reminding y'all about that. All right, y'all. Your next poet, she just released her second book of poetry, and she's just been huge in the poetry scene in Nashville and across the country. Please give it up for Tiana Clark.
Hi, can you hear me, Nick?
Yes, yeah, I got
Great.
you.
Well, thank you so much to Poetry in the Brew, Christine, to you, Nick. So happy to be here with all the readers. K.H.A.O.S, it was such a pleasure and an honor to hear you read. I miss hearing your voice at Poetry in the Brew, so thank you for kicking this off. And thank you all for watching. Also, I have my little pup here, so hopefully he'll be quiet, but this is Cooper. He's a little needy like his mom. But thank you all for having the space to amplify Black voices right now. I'm going to start off with my poem, Nashville. Nashville is hot chicken on sopping white bread with green pickle chips, sour to balance, prismatic flame-colored spice for white people, or rather white people now curate hot chicken for $16 and 2 farm-to-table sides. Or maybe they've hungered fried heat and grease from Black food and milk, but didn't want to drive to Jefferson Street. Or don't know about the history of Jefferson Street, or Hell's half-acre north of downtown, where freed slaves lived on the fringe of Union camps, built their own new country. Where its golden age brought the silver streak, a ballroom bringing Basie, Ellington, and Fitzgerald. First-run movies at the Ritz, and no one had to climb to the balcony. 1968, they built the interstate. I-40 bisected the Black community like a tourniquet of concrete. There were no highway exits. 120 businesses closed, ambulance siren driving over the house that called 911, diminishing howl in the distance, Black bodies going straight to the morgue. At the downtown library, a continuous loop flashes snick videos with Black and white kids training for spit and circular cigarette burns as the video toggles from coaching to counters covered in pillars of salt and pie and soda, magma of the movement. On I-65, there's a 2-tone Confederate statue I flick off daily on my morning commute. Walking down 2nd Avenue past neon hockey talks, playing bro country and cash, and herds of squealing pink bachelorette parties, someone yelled nigger lover at my husband. Again, walking down 2nd Avenue, I thought I heard someone yelling at the back of my husband. I turned around to find the voice and saw myself as someone who didn't give a damn. Again, I turned around to find that it was I who lived inside the lovely word made flesh by white mouths masticating mashed sweet potatoes from my mother's mother. Free Love was her name, a slave from Warrior, North Carolina, with 12 children with names like Pansy, Viola, Oscar, Stella, and Toy, my grandmother. There is always a word I'm chasing inside and outside of my body, a word inside another word, scanning the OED for suit-covered roots, 1577, 1584, 1608, tracing my finger along the boomerang shape of the Niger River for my blood, 1856, 1866, 1889, who said it? A hyphen crackles and bites, burns the body to a spray of white wisps, like when the hot comb with its metal teeth cut close to petroleum jelly edging the scalp, sizzling, southern babble, smoking the hive of epithets hung fat above the bustling crowds like black and white lynching photographs, mute faces, red finger pointing up at my dead, some with hats and ties, all business. As one needle-like lady is looking at the camera, as if looking through the camera at me, and the way I am looking at my lover now, halcyon and constant. Once, my mother-in-law said, "Watch your back," and I knew exactly what she meant. Again, I turned around to find that I'm the breath of Apollo, panting the back of Daphne's wild hair, chasing words like arrows inside the knotted meat between my shoulder blades, 4 violent syllables stabbing my skin, enamored with pain. I am kissing all the trees, searching the mob, mumbling to myself, who said it, who said it, who said it. I'm gonna read one more poem for you. It's a poem for Khalif Browder. It's an elegy that I wanted to write. I think most of us are probably familiar with Khalif Browder, but just a little brief background. He was imprisoned when he was 16 years old on Rikers Island, which is an adult maximum security prison, for 3 years without ever being convicted of a crime. He grappled with mental health issues that largely was due to the extreme physical and psychological distress endured during his time in solitary confinement, as well as setbacks, all while declaring his innocence. 2 years after finally being released, Browder took his own life. And then Jay-Z funded a documentary, a 6-part episode documentary series on Spike TV. And just like during this time, it's hard to see these images. And I think when you're a Black poet, you're often called to write about these circumstances, and it can be very hard psychologically to do that. Sometimes we need time to process and grieve and mourn. And so I didn't want to write about this poem. And so this poem kind of goes into like not wanting to write about it, and then being kind of, there's nothing else you can do but write about it. 800 Days Libation. It rained inside me. It is raining inside my neck. The rain falls in sheets inside, long sheets inside. All the rain is falling inside, collapsing spit. I don't want to watch another Black man die today, or another story of how he died today, or how he was thrown away, or how he ended up. I don't want to study the rain from inside the house, or overhear wild rain swell and thicken, slap the roof with wet words. And Khalif, who was there when you stopped being, and who was there when you were alone and beyond yourself? How the water around you from the island around you might have sounded like a chorus. Who was there? Who was there? Who was there? And now everyone is watching your life from inside, but I'm afraid to watch them beat you. Watch torture throbbing dry and long with ache and blue-black bruising, so I don't. And another Black body is blown out, smoking wick. The lone wisp of a life lingers, smelling burnt and gone. How rain wraps around a tornado is a type of sorrow, because no one knows how to fathom damage inside. Someone's eyes could be the weather just after or before a storm, calm and clear, but still bleaker inside the Black parts of the pupils, the whole smooth Black holes in the eyes as they left you in the hole with no rain. And I'm emptying a waterfall, shouting, Khalif, I want you to be undead and not alone, lonely in the ground again. I want so much, how it grieves like a fist of pounding rain on your body, bleeding broke. But what I want doesn't matter. What I want are rare blossoms for the dead, because you're gone and your mother is gone, all because someone said you stole a backpack, meaning your body was made a forgotten altar. Your body made bodiless kept pushing back as your child kept pushing back, and Black matter moves backwards in time, meaning Khalif matters in the past tense, even though the space around your life didn't matter to them or them or them. Like the space that scatters and navigates around the circumference of raindrops is never wet. And the braided distance between you and me is dry and long, like time is ringless with a tight and loaded lungful, blowing 800 candles out for the 800 days in solitary. Your brain behind bars fades. Your body in confinement, your chest caged alone, your body alone. All I hear is your name falling and beating Khalif. Khalif. Khalif, Khalif, Khalif. This is such a poor offering, but I'm pouring it on the ground like good rain. And whatever softens the earth is your name. Whatever might grow from that darkening bright spot is your name. Lapping little lakes of creation, turning mud in your name. Whatever might be fed from the liquid raining inside me. Whatever might be loosened from the muck and the dark rum pouring from my bottle. And Khalif, your name is drizzling a type of grief upon my mouth like mist as it rains inside me. It is raining inside me, my body. The rain falls in sheets inside. All the rain is entangled and not touching. Who touched you with the tenderness falling inside? And Khalif, who was there? And what is there to say after so much rain? The ground is swollen with your name. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Tiana. I appreciate that. Also, Tiana's book, or most recent book, I Can't Talk About the Trees Without the Blood, is available at tianaclark.com. As well as Amazon, and then her first book, Equilibrium, is also available. So just a quick shout there.
Thank you.
All right. Our next poet is Henry L. Jones. He's a writer, activist, and artist. He is an Art Wire Fellow at the Porch Writers Collective and Oz Art Center of Nashville. I was in a poetry reading with him last weekend, and I'm glad to see him back this week here. Please give it up for Henry L. Jones.
Hey, how's everybody going? Doing? This is a difficult time, but it's a needed time to share these words. My first poem is titled, Baldwin Speaks of Old and New Lynches. When just above my head, a lynching, seeking relief from grieving eyes, leaking slowly in disbelief. Racing, hypertensive heartbeats, fear in my chest pounding loudly, beats to our African ancestors sounding like distant drums, awakening the deep slumber, listening to those ancient chants, scores of music that seem familiar. Dry branches applaud the wind, moving like praising to the word, clinging to old star notes coded, echoing on the Nile's currents. Catfish dance in death's muck, from Egypt to Mississippi woes, trying to find hidden bodies still, wanting the sorrow to end now, looking with blurry, heavy eyes, a sea of salty cries falling never dry. Will we ever mop up all the blood, staining history's pages crimson and black, raising our children as Kwanzaa corn, missing still, snatch burn ears, they sizzle in the raging fire as they rise. Smoke twirling up, signals pointing, showing children the way home, searching for lost souls in limbo, knowing mass graves still hidden by the twisted hearts of demons. We only desire a fearless darkness. Counting the names in police records, watching the video footage of blue lies, allowing this rabid dog to storm free with desire to hunt more Black meat. Trumpet blows for a new Harriet glory, running through concrete and steel, telling weary people to keep moving. Mourning stunted mind she left behind, to live on smiles and shuffle dances. When their butts get tired and cramp, twerking along to see another day, longing a white cloth savior loves them, reaching for threads tied around their necks, then thicken into a noose for a picnic. Erected another native son proud day, dragging flesh from his slave bones of old, banging on plantation floors, rapes, castrating tails to stop the Black seed, dry, thin lips shouted about new trophies. When stuffed heads hung on the walls, stirring old hunt memories for sons, climaxing semi-automatic penises shot, emptying hatred onto dirty, lusty sheets. With uncovered heads and proud smiles, now screams about their righteous place, waving Confederate pride in the sun, standing their ground of fearless old glory, bringing loads of cotton for more flags, hemp fibers to write a new constitution. When Baldwin, the old pastor's son, watching Black people pull the weave apart, revealing their frailty and strength, trapped naked beasts in the flower garden still, clothed in sermons for marching plans. Around the world, loud outcries for justice, walking unstoppable waves of change, holding up signs for all to hear our voices, seeking proof for humanity to redeem. Now, the fire next time is freedom's glow. And this next poem is titled, I Am the Eyes. I am the eyes. Your heart races from when I approach or pass by you. You lock the car doors, clench your purse, stop to let me pass, grab your daughters, dial 911. I am the eyes. You fear me and run. No hiding place for you, only eyes. I'm in your head, started to the rage. I find you waiting, peeping, gun in one hand, NRA card in the other, in the corner of your house, trapped by darkness, pressed against your skin. Can you absorb the sun without skin cancer's kiss? A darkness that imbibes your hatred, your mouth expelling a bolus phlegm of terror. As the myths run down your cheek, you shout, mad dogs must be shot. I am the eyes. My tongue falls on your neck and searches for your ears to whisper the million cries. Voices from beyond the sorrow songs, like a virus in countless numbers, we spread in your blood, waiting to rupture your reality. Your skin full of my sin, the evil, eternal death. Maimed, lynched, raped, burned, beaten, drugged. Now smile. Smile to these eyes. Beg me to be nonviolent, to dance without running, to sing without tears, to praise without heartache, to still scream in silence. I testify to the reign of your crimes. I saw all through my eyes who destroyed God's flower garden. I see no sincerity to this perverted piece of this fake integration, clay-face assimilation, in which I must die. Know this, I am the eyes that death cannot close. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Henry. That's and be sure to follow him at Henry L. I'm sorry, at Henry Jonesing for Colors. That's the number 4. And just a reminder, we are taking donations for Black Lives Matter Nashville, and just as well as a few other organizations around town. So just wanted to give y'all that reminder. So thank you again, Henry. Our next poet, I've done several shows with him, and I can't wait to hear what he's going to share for us today. Please give it up for Frank Frizzy Sykes.
What's going on, people? What is going on? It's your boy Frank, a.k.a. Frizzy, right here. Poetry in the Brew performing. Glad to be here and for this great cause. So if you do have it, make sure that you are donating and giving to the cause. If you don't have it, don't hurt yourself, but understand that sharing is also caring. I'm going to give you one piece that's dear to me. It has a message that basically I want a lot of people to hear. And here it is. It's titled Broken. In order for our vision of a better world to truly be better, we must be willing to face the facts that we are broken. I said, in order for our vision of a better world to truly be better, we must be willing to face the facts that we are broken. Broken from the unhealthy environments that manipulate, segregate, diversitate, discriminate, desensitize, that then educates us to eliminate by this unconscious love to hate. I can only pray that fate won't let that line blow your mind. Now, if you missed it that time, don't panic. I promise I'll put it in MP3 format just so that you can hit rewind. You see, we've been broken so long that it's become our normality. And I'm out here struggling so hard to get the blind to see this actuality, but they can't because of our instilled fear. We'll close our eyes, scared to death, to look at this reality. You see, we've been broken with time. So broken that I can never find enough of it to ease my mind. You see, things are happening so fast that I only wish that I could press pause. Or even better, Lord, allow me to hit rewind. There's so many things left unsaid that still even I just want to say. Some more time that I need just so that I can go outside and play. And Lord, since it is you that is all knowing and I really wouldn't have it any other way, I'd like to ask for a little bit more time for me visiting my very last days, and only ask of it because I know there are so many souls out there longing to be saved. So many trapped living in this world, stuck in this mentality of a slave, you see. We're broken. And even though there are no more whips and change. The damage done to us psychologically has messed up our good brain. They took the shackles off of our feet so that we could dance in the rain, but secretly they knew that even if we did escape, we'd run right back to the same things, and we keep running right back to the same things. Broken. And when I seen it, my internal soul started to hurt on the inside. And next came those physical effects. You see, tears started to form. I lay in bed at night and cry, and time would no longer work with me. There was no more time for me to sit down and keep asking, why? You see, there's a movement that I have that has to start now. Or else with me, my dream will soon die. Broken. I hope you heard the message that was in that piece. We have to accept, of course, our damages, our brokenness in order to get to a point of repair. And that's the whole purpose of that piece. Hopefully it touched you. Hopefully it impacted you. And I do thank you for your ears and your time. Y'all be blessed.
I appreciate it, Frizzy. And you can follow him, or you can catch him at Frizzy Productions. That's Frizzy with 2 Z's. And here we go. Let's see if I can get this title card up. FrizzyProductions.com. And yeah, just a powerful voice for poetry around town. So our next poet coming to the screen, coming to the mic. Please give it up for Jasmine Dominique.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. We are in the midst of a great awakening, so be it. I just want to encourage you, as I encourage myself, to remember that all is in divine order. We are loved. We are loved. In fact, we are love. All right. So I am going to share 2 poems with you, and just know that it's coming from the heart. Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. They wanted you to hide. They wanted you to run from everything that makes you royal. They wanted to dim your light. They were afraid of your power. They didn't want you to elevate higher, so through systems, they created physical, mental, and spiritual prisons that would lead to glitches that manifested as fearful visions. Their purpose was to design your fate. They wanted you to worship self-hate, but something inside of you continued to follow the sun. And yet, we continue this quest for freedom. Grandmama is over there by the lily tree. Y'all, she be talking to plants. Says she can feel them when they dance. Says she always knows when the season's gonna change. Grandmama says she tired of being chained to a world that tells her not to feel. Especially when she can heal with one touch. Grandmama be having dreams. But when she tries to share those prophecies with the world just laughs unbothered. Grandmama just laughs after those prophecies come to pass, and she says, I told they ass. Now go down to the store. I need my Virginia Slims, the ones in the green pack, and hurry back so you can eat some of this cornbread, fried chicken, pig feet, pork chops, chitlins, and hot sauce, sweet potatoes, and green beans. And if you got space, I'll give you a slice of rum cake, because girl, you got to have some meat on your bones if you're going to continue this quest for freedom. Now, we are the millennial people, the teachers, the healers, the sun followers, and the mind doctors. We have come to open ancient treasures. Can't you see the passion in our eyes? We've come to hypnotize the blind with truth. And I carry the wisdom of my ancestors in my purse, so try me if you want to, no longer afraid. We be shifting things, changing molecular structure of brains. We know that we were kings and queens before they told us that we were slaves. I said, We know that we were kings and queens before they told us that we were slaves. Time for baptism, time to hear, time to see, time to feel, time to be, time to remember that we were always free and we have conquered this quest for freedom. So, wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Thank you. I have one more poem to share with you all. And this poem is an ode to Black love, to love. And I also dedicate this poem to the children that will be birthed in the midst of this amazing awakening that we are experiencing. Fuck me. Grab me, entice me, empower me, devour me, educate me, arouse me, awaken me, tie me up, eat it up, beat it up, hold me up, and don't let me fall. A real man that knows how to take control, I prayed for you. Late night candle burning, I shang and I'm manning, thanking God for you. A reflection of kinghood, a true representation of priesthood. The Pope ain't got nothing on you. And the other night I saw you turning water into wine with your fine ass. You've got superpowers. Every time you're inside of me, my vibration rises higher and higher, and I don't want to come down, but I will go down on you because you're worth it. In this world, you take blow after blow, so a little stress relief, yeah, you deserve it. I just want to show my gratitude by blowing you up. I'll meet you on the throne. I'm going to crown you in more ways than one, so get ready to come in America. I'll always treat you like a jewel because you deserve it. Baby, you've got the magic stick and you've healed me with it over and over and over and over and over again. I'm so proud to be your lover. I thank God is for creating your mother because she created a soldier of love, and I'm so in love with you. So let's continue to build legacies. Let's continue to manifest our ancestors' prophecies. Let's remove the I and embrace the we. I just want to be your queen with a crown who'll be down for whatever. We Bonnie and Clyde through any type of weather, and though you would never let me risk my life, I'd climb to any height with you and for you. I wrote this here love letter to show my sincerest gratitude, King. Thank you.
Appreciate that, Jasmine. And you can follow her or find more about her at jasminedominique.com. And again, just appreciate your work. Thank you so much. Thank you. Real fast, just a quick reminder, Gideon's Army, you can follow them on Instagram at Gideon's Army United, as well as on Facebook. So, all right, y'all. Our next poet coming to the microphone, please give it up for Christian Collier.
Hey, everybody, what's happening? So I have two poems for you. And the first one is called Sight Unseen. After viewing Hank Willis Thomas's From Can't See in the Morning Till Can't See at Night. They insert the black body, then insert the eraser. Make sure the latter is hungry, and if the black body in all the fear and trauma and damage it has time capsuled within the tide of its blood comes too close to bleeding out, it can wipe it all away. Smear it all back into a hue that doesn't displease the eye. They insert the black body, then beg it not to be so black that they have to see the skin as human or hear its breath and the silence that floods in when it stops. They insert the body in, ask that it just be the black that is all smiles, all full lips and teeth totally exposed, the black that pulls laughter out of their guts instead of ire, the black that chooses not to let them see the rich legacy of how they've exotified and commodified its labor and the sun-kissed flex of its muscles. Ask that it be all spectacle, bigger than life and mute about the realities it faces in it. And if it can't be, can't it just be so black that it is invisible again? So dark the night blends with it and eats it away, buffing it from their sight. Can't it be the kind of black that loves them enough to keep the language of its wounds distant from their ears? Can't it just repay them for the opportunity to play, the opportunity to produce with enjoyment? Can't it only kneel in victory on occasion, or to praise the God they say they love and follow on occasion? Can't it be that broad-backed black buck just happy to have the green field all to itself? Can't it just let them step back and love it from afar with conditions before it breaks down before their eyes, before the season sets on it and it becomes their burned out star blacked out for good? And if it can't bear to be that type of beautiful that grants them mercy, absolution, all of the splendor from its sweat and sacrifice they can drink, can't it just shut up and dribble, or shut up and run, or shut up altogether because they don't need its mouth, the music it makes mangling their cheering? Can't it just shut up and lay down against that earth its flesh has known so well and play dead so long and believably that it forgets how to get back up? So I started doing a series of poems on the black characters in horror films. And there's a film some of you might know. It is called Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. That film had one black character in it, and its name was Julius Gall. So this is called an elegy for Julius Gall. Even though I've seen the scene well over 30 times and know how it ends, I still have hope percolating in my cells. This will be the time some miracle will reach through the screen and save him. That though he faced death on the ashen clavicle of that Manhattan building before the lone audience of the moon, he would somehow will his exhausted body into slipping that fatal Sunday punch to escape free, unsmudged and alive. And perhaps it is just the world refusing to let me be, to stay out of my head for the runtime of the film, but I also cannot help but think about the other black boys not hired by a casting director to become headless on film, those now forever anchored to being young, who hail from families elected by the god of circumstance to carry the murders of their sons or fathers or brothers for the remainder of their days. I cannot help but realize just how many times I have seen the soul of someone black exit the pores of their tiny mosques of muscle and flesh and vacate this life, and how each of their final moments was a horror film I did not pay to see and cannot let go of. In some way, isn't this the nature of being black in America? Always residing so close to terror that we are wounded, but never surprised when it pitches one of us into the limbo of its maw. Me, I want the alternate ending. Not just for Julius, but for all the other young black men buried in my brain since their passing, each one the news tucked into the pink soil of my mind. I want the alternate ending where a burst of lightning blossoms in the belly of the copious dark and brings them life again, and they gaze into the black eyes of their fates and say, "Take your best shot, motherfucker," before punching their hands bloody and staving off the afterlife's hungry invitation. I want the alternate ending where they each find their ways back into the company of those who love them most, and in the distance, night fades to morning, and a brand new beginning sets upon them as the credits start cascading down the screen, and the language left on all their breath is the antithesis of anything close to horror. Thank you.
Thank you. I having trouble with my video and my sound. I appreciate that, Christian. Thank you so much. Well, we didn't know she was gonna make it. She's here. Mama, you ready to go?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right. Hey, coming to the screen next. Give it up for Mama.
For sure. So appreciate your patience. I'm Mama, spoken word artist in Nashville, Tennessee. And what is just getting right into my piece? Okay, cool. So the name of this piece is America. Your word is America. Can I have the definition, please? A country that was not made for you. Can I have its origin? You. America. America. AMERIKKKA, America. Tell me, why don't you like me? I mean, not that I care at all or anything, but I'm just curious as to why. You should be worshiping me for the millions of dollars I brought to you from 1501 to 1865, similar to the millions of lashes you brought to me from 1501 to 2020, massa. I mean, America. Do my gold chains and big rings offend you? Because I thought you was big and bad, running around with them white sheets on your head looking like Casper, but I don't believe in ghosts. You're like my ungrateful child. I built this nation, carried it on my back for you to strive in, and I never got a thank you. All I got was beatings, bullets, and bombs like on June 1st, 1921 in Oklahoma City when you let them things go on the first Wall Street, first Black Wall Street, America. Cause like you hate me, but love what my melanin brings. You love my Afrocentric features like my lips, Kylie Jenner, my hips, Amber Rose, my hair, Miley Cyrus. You love the way nigga falls off your privileged lips, is why the way I still don't understand why you can't seem to comprehend why you can't say that. You pay top dollar for my culture, so why not me, America? I am my brothers and my sisters. I am him, sagging his pants, playing dice. I am her, a single mother of 3, struggling to make ends meet, but I also am him in the suburbs with eyes burning into my back because you're wondering which drug I sold the most of to get here. I am her, vice president of a Fortune 500 company. But all you can seem to wonder about is how many times I've opened up my legs to get in this position. When I speak with diction and carry myself with poise, I'm accepted by you because I talk and act white. Because I sound educated? Is that a Caucasian trait? Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't we have to educate you that having sex with animals is a no-no? You can say, excuse me, brother, but you seem to have perhaps mistaken me for one of my fellow colleagues. I mean, that's cool and all, but attending the illustrious Howard University, I'ma still say, you got me fucked up, America. Land of the brave, home of the free? Is it home of the free when my Black best friend goes to a predominantly white school? And yes, I said predominantly, because y'all hate when those nigga folks use words not in the Urban Dictionary. Predominantly white school. Star athlete for your school. Will it be home of the free when he's walking home at night with his hood on because it's 36 degrees, wagging his finger, listening to his rap music? Will he make it home free, America? Why is it that Black is associated with dirty and evil and white was clean and pure? I'll have you know, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. And no, I'm not just another angry Black woman rolling her neck with an attitude. No, America. See, I'm Black. I'm a woman. And I'm pissed off because you killing in my hoods. No, my hood like Trey and Eric, I'm getting choked up. I can't breathe, America. And yes, I know all lives matter. And if you say that shit again, let me stop, because you would have perceived it as a threat. Suspect is a female, African American, about 5'3". By the way, my name is Mama. And if you so happen to see my name on your screen because I died in police custody, just know I did not commit suicide. so you can keep your lullabies and your bedtime stories, because I'm woke now, and I ain't going back to sleep. America. Ameriikka. That is correct. Yeah, so the name of that piece, snaps. Hey, y'all, what's up, y'all? So, can I talk to you now?
Go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. I really do appreciate this Black Voices Matter with everything going on. We definitely need platforms such as this just to be able to get out and make sure our voices are heard, and that everything that needs to be heard, making sure we have a place for it to be heard. So yeah, this is definitely important. All the other artists.
Hello, Mama. I think we lost her. For a minute. Really fast. We're just we'll keep it moving, and I'm gonna read two pieces, relatively short ones, and then after I go, we'll have Marsh go and just keep the event going. So, with Father's Day being tomorrow, I wanted to read this poem called "My Grandfather's Cane." The bottom was rubber, shaped like a trapezoid. But if I looked closer, I'm sure I'd find it cylindrical or even hexagonal. The handle curved like an umbrella, smooth wood, all one shade all the way down. One of my earliest memories was of my father saying to my granddad, "Why don't you put down that cane and walk?" I never wondered where it's been these past 30 years. It was just a prop in my memory, standing out like fresh spinach and teeth. And then, after my uncle's funeral, my uncle, named after my grandfather and whose son and grandson share the same name, a name shared with my grandfather's father, I caught a glimpse of the cane when my aunt gave it to my father. And in that moment, pregnant with years of said and unsaid I love yous, pregnant with fights and bear hugs, pregnant with understandings and misunderstandings, I saw my dad, older than my grandfather and my uncle, hold the cane and cry. And the theory of relativity with its odd mix of numbers and letters and its equations made sense. I saw myself and my father and my father's father and my uncle and cousin and his son, also my cousin, as if that piece of polished wood were a crutch that helped us run through wormholes of time, a time machine stretching through generations while bending space and time. Thank y'all. Appreciate that. Appreciate your time. This second poem is it's titled "My Conception, May 1979," and we'll just jump into it. For some reason, I imagined it was on a Thursday. My dad just came home from work at Nashville Electric Service. My mom there before him, having got off work a little early to prepare for the upcoming Memorial Day weekend. Spontaneous. When he played that Earth, Wind, and Fire record, he was planning on doing some cleaning, maybe some packing before they went to Chattanooga on their 3-day weekend. But the setting sun caught my mother's afro at just the right angle. So he touches it, then wraps his arms around her waist, a mosaic of touch and love, culminating in that moment, me. Generations coming together long after years of Jim Crow and the Vietnam draft that sent him across the world and her a student at TSU, of 7 years of trying to have a child and starting to lose hope. Thank y'all. Appreciate it. All right, y'all. And you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at NickXBush. And we will keep it going. Please give it up for our next poet cat, Marsh.
Thank you all. Thank you for having me. It is a blessing and a joy to hear and see and feel the different voices and the different thoughts, for I'm trying to understand. The first time I realized I could feel hate, I had turned 9 and no longer 8. I'd seen the men walk through town with red X flags and white sheets for crowns. I saw them many times, but paid them no mind. I was a kid, the sun was up. I was shining in the light. I went to Reeves to buy a cone, but out the door I was not alone. Hey, little nigger, best be off the square. Then by the car, look at its snappy hair. I still went on smiling, not knowing why he said what he said and why his smile was so vile. But that was not the day I realized hate. I grew and I learned that I was not liked just because I was different, because I was not white. I talked to my grandfather and then understood how to feel hate like the men in the hoods. I embraced all hate offered me, but I chose to wield it differently. I will voice, I will write, I will help, I will teach, I will persevere. But along this journey, I am still trying to understand. Things are muddled, calling them trash because they break and bash without understanding why. They are hungry to be heard, hungry to discern, hungry for cash. Some will listen and some will dismiss, but many good people know what's amiss. Conjugating conjectures with characters and no colors, aligning charisma with old-fashioned hysteria. Until the press of a neck by knee against sediment. Why does it take another last breath and a raspy call to a dead mother? My mind is rattling this. This disease is bread soggied in turnip green liquor, bacon grease sticky casts with importantly impotent minds in iron times, with redirects and choked throats inflecting shattered light, attempting to blind truth, but it cannot rot roots. There's light here. Light shines everywhere. Shining high on the bitter of that swill while lying suits seek bills to kill or till. But I'm done. I keep saying it. I'm done. I'm done drinking from the Devil's Punch Bowl, Mississippi. I'm not going to sit in Central Park and forget Seneca, New York, or the 85 bomb upon life in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 230 plus raised high above seas, now sweetened by blood, swung by braids, Arkansas. The KKK walking on MLK's Day, Pulaski, Tennessee. Many enslaved, many walked a weeping trail, many concentrated without sight and focus, many assumed as villain and lesser upon sound and sight, but not with understanding. There was no true care given to their plight. Still one too many false eyes and barbed hands quicken the climb to fade. That's everywhere. We are all adaptations of ancestry seated by the wrongs and the rights of all kin. I do not move blindly in this. My voice shakes with this. I will remember and make psalms of this, like my mother, like my grandmother did. And with you, I will extend a hand to aid in men life. I call upon you, and if you don't know what to do, let me help you out. I call you to screen the mind that is to protect. I call you to remove those who cannot teach that compassion is not a defect. I call you to own the troubles that cut into rungs and attempt to weaken the ladder. I don't ask you to give me a new ladder. I just ask you to give me the same quality of goods so I can make my own ladder, make it strong and durable. I call you to remember the one you eye for harm could have been the one that saved your life. I call you to remember WWJD like you preach. I call you to remember your cells cry out and fight for life upon alert of injury or death. So why would you expect a man or woman to not move or beg for breath? When shot, when stepped, when punched on, when tased. I call you to pretend I am white and my life is as valuable as yours. I call you to share in hope. I call you to share in possibility. We are all adaptations of ancestry, but we can make new paths. And yes, some are against us. Some say behaviors and minds should stay within lines, but those lines are drawn in black too. Yes, there are many, many things drawn with black. Where else do you expect folks to color? We are all rings of the same tree that must change to survive, and we delight and we suffer the same seasons. Our blood has been the ink you've written and jabbed with your tongue. And as Sam Cooke sung, a change is gonna come and it's gonna keep coming. Thank you for your time.
Y'all keep it going for Cat Marsh. Thank you for coming through again. Really fast, we are at the halfway point, and I just wanted to do just a quick reminder. We got some folks coming in and out on Facebook, and just some information about the places that we really want to hype up during this event. Southerners on New Ground, or SONG, is a regional queer liberation organization made up of people of color, immigrants, working class, and rural and small town LGBTQ people. Its members are committed to building freedom movements rooted in Southern traditions like nonviolent social justice activism, storytelling, music, breaking bread, resistance, humor, performance, critical thinking, and celebration. You see their contact information there on the screen. Check out their website, southernersnewground.org, as well as their Instagram. And then the bottom of the screen, you see where to make a donation. And again, like Frizzy said, don't hurt yourself, but anything that you can give is greatly appreciated. And another organization, we mentioned them earlier. A couple weeks ago, we had one of the biggest protests in the South, and it was organized in part by Black Lives Matter Nashville, and it's the local chapter that is the Black Lives Matter Network. And working for the validity of the Black liberation movement. You see their website, blacklivesmatternashville.wordpress.com. And again, their Instagram at BLM_Nashville. And again, make a donation, paypal.me. And again, Black Lives Matter Nashville, doing a lot of work, but still a lot of work to be done. So just a quick shout to them. And then one more organization, Gideon's Army. K.H.A.O.S, who read earlier, he helps out with Gideon's Army, and it acts collectively, boldly, and strategically as a unified force for all children, eliminating the root causes of the prison pipeline, saving our children from death and incarceration, and guiding them on a secure path to success. And this is a great way to support the community directly. A couple months ago, when those tornadoes hit, Gideon's Army really helped out in North Nashville. And yeah, they're here. They are very local, and you can follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Gideon's Army United. And yes, again, don't hurt yourself, but if you have anything that you can give, please do so. And then just a couple of other announcements. We got C.A. Williams coming up next. I know him very well from Poetry in the Boro in Murfreesboro, and Poetry in the Boro is one of the co-sponsors. We have a show, our next show will be on Zoom Sunday, July 12th. So feel free to pull up on that to read, to support. That'd be great. And also Poetry in the Brew has been the other co-host, co-sponsor, very helpful. Big shout to Kayla and Christine for just helping us out here. So just wanted to get those out. And well, again, I'll send a reminder towards the end of the evening. So C.A. Williams, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, please give it up for C.A. Williams.
All right. Again, thank you all for having me. I'm loving this sharing the stage with all these poets. I decided to change up my poems that I was going to do. I'm actually going to do 3, but the first one actually goes out to all the poets. Even though I don't know you all, I feel that this is something that we've all experienced. It's titled Writer's Block. A feeling you can't put into words, but as a writer, you just have to write. How do I express this pain of knowing nothing we seem to do will bring a change? We did it with our marches. We spoke of it in our speeches. We did it with our sit-ins. We spoke of it in our music. Can you not see it? Can you not hear it? The screams for equality and justice. So will anything I write be worth it? The bigotry, the brutality. How do we stop it? There are no words strong enough to reveal how I feel. So why do I write? Because kneeling and protesting don't seem to be working. So yes, I might have writer's block and not know exactly what to say. But even if I did, I wonder if it would matter anyways. For my second piece, it was titled Staying Awake, but 2 days ago I changed it to No Sleep. After long days of working, after long years of suffering, you would think we are tired and ready to go to sleep, to dream the most wonderful dreams, to be woken full of energy. But as you, yes, I'm talking to you, as you lay your head down and close your eyes, that's when you realize that not all dreams are sweet. Some nights, nightmares will awake you. Some nights, your dreams will have your fears chasing you. But for some of us, a nightmare dream is our reality. And having to face our nightmares while we are awake, the harassing, the beating, the judging, the killing, all because of the color of our skin, they treat us different, bringing on a nightmare filled with violence. I will speak for my culture and say, yes, yes, tired are we. But knowing what we face while we are awake, I am fearful of what would happen if we ever chose to sleep. For my last piece, I will be reciting, and all these pieces were literally just written over the past week and a half. But this last piece is so far outside of my character, but it was the state that I was in. I've never written a piece filled with profanity, but this piece is titled Boiling Point. Pardon my language, but this is how I feel. Fuck you, fuck your job, fuck your peers. Fuck the system and the government that does not care, for you get away with it day after day. The beating, the shooting, the murdering. I look at you in disgrace, as it is hard for me to look at any officer in the face and still be kind to them, keep loving them, keep respecting them. And on most days, yes, on most days I would pray. Pray for you to see you're wrong. Pray for you to change. But not today. No, today I say your ass needs to burn in hell. They need to give you the death penalty. I know this is unlike me, but this anger that's built up has me acting differently. So today I will vent and let this aggression out. Damn the badge, because the badge damns me. Pardon my language, but do not pardon my words, for I am a Black man who is tired of being angry. Thank you all again for having me.
Keep it going for C.A. Williams. And yeah, he just released a book of poetry. And I don't know if you have it with you. You want to hold up a copy of it? Different size. Oh, I didn't mean for you. All right. All right. Well, you can still hold it up. You can still hold it up afterwards. But we're just gonna keep it going. Please give it up for Dr. Destiny. Oh, Birdsong.
It's been amazing just being here and like hearing everyone read. This has been wonderful. I'm just gonna do one poem tonight. I've been thinking a lot about this Nikki Giovanni quote from one of her poems about Black love being Black wealth. And I've been thinking a lot about how Black love has like sustained me over this time. So I'm gonna read a love poem that combines my two favorite things, which are longing and chicken. So this poem is called Love Poem that Ends at Popeyes. It's Valentine's Day and I hear tires on the slick streets. It is raining, a slow, steady rain. The kind that makes me saddest because it seems endless. And even after, the sky, having forgotten its big-eyed blue, stands aloof now, distant, while the sun, mumbling from her side of the bed, settles herself into a light doze. I am thinking of the meal I will not have to brave those streets, clamp-thighed in a passenger seat to eat, or the flowers I will not have to accept awkwardly because flowers are such strange gifts. Why undress the ground just to prove I am special? We could go to the botanical gardens, hold hands, smell the smells that come at me all at once in a sneeze, or we could pull over on the highway, run through fields of bonnets so buckled with sky they look bruised. Why has no one ever loved me the way a bonnet might engorge itself with blue? So much it is a new color, unnameable, breathless. My loves hold their breaths, calculating. They want me to look at the food and the flowers and the tiny golden heart run through with a golden thread and say, thank you, yes, I am wearing silver, but now I will wear only gold. And then they expect me to lie down quickly as if we're children and the fields are bloated with green and it is May. Somewhere, the man who doesn't love me, though I wish I could say the same, is pacing a supermarket floor, his body a reflection in the waxed tile. Really, he is two men, one flesh man, one floor man, and both are moving in a direction away from me. They are picking out fistfuls of roses or maybe tulips, maybe assorted flowers with daffodils. And he knows the woman he really loves will dip her nose into them like a doe and say, thank you. And she will kiss him with her tacky lips. And for the first time, I am not angry that he might lay her down and ask if he can do the things he will do. Of course, she will say yes. That is what you say when you love someone, right? It's what I would say. And this time, not because I've learned what happens when you say no or when you say nothing at all. I am not sad about whatever she will let him do or what she will do to him to make him smile, make his mouth form and his breath catch the emptiness where a few of his teeth used to be and make it ache. It's a good ache when something is missing and people still love you. I want him to be satisfied. I want him to be happy. Also, I want to be happy. We can do that separately or we can do it together. We can do it now or we can do it later. I am a hopeless romantic. I still make wishes before I blow out candles. And last week I asked an oracle when, not if, I'd find true love. It said, bad reception, try again, girl. And I am trying. I am lying in bed with my arms around myself, thinking of what I will eat when I get hungry. I am willing to wait for what I want. Like when I pull up to the window and the cashier says it'll take 10 minutes for the spicy dark. And I say, yeah, that's okay. I still want it. And I pull my car over and I play my music. And I imagine the fried flecks of flour smothering in the saliva of my mouth. And oh, the biscuits, and oh, the honey, and oh, the red beans in their salty velvet. And I think this is my own gold. It is not daffodil gold. It is not supermarket roses gold. It is not a thin stringed gold attached to a locket of expectations with my face clasped between two composite hearts. But it is good, and it is filling. And it is enough. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Keep it going for Dr. Destiny Birdsong. And she has a book coming out in negotiations with Tin House Books. There we go. Get the shot there. And really fast, the organizations and the donations, you can, it has all their information on the Poetry at the Brew page. I thought I was screen sharing earlier when I was doing all that talking, but you can find their information at the Poetry at the Brew page, and you can donate from there. So just a quick heads up. All right, coming to the stage next, coming to the screen next, please give it up for Khaya, Northcross.
Hey y'all, I'm Khaya. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, okay. I am Khaya. I am so excited to be here with y'all. I'm gonna do two pieces. One is a short piece, it's called Chick-fil-A. And the other one is called America Wake Up. So I hope y'all enjoy them. Happiness is Chick-fil-A. Hand-breaded boneless chicken breast, accompanied by nature's tomatoes and lettuce coated in faucet water dew. Tic-tac-toe potato fries dipped in sweet and spicy sriracha, where fresh lemonade, fruit punch, and Sprite mingle into a 16-ounce styrofoam cup where red and white signifies communion. A small town family with good Christian values. Angelic chicken spirit sandwiches whispering to growling bellies. Eat more chicken. We don't sell beef. But you use Black people as a marketing campaign, though. You sell our faces on the front lines of customer backlash wars. Sorry. Polynesian blood splattered on canine teeth when I have to decide to bite my tongue or lose my job. The spicy chicken deluxe is better served with a side of homophobia when my manager asked my coworker if the girl she couldn't stop laughing at was her girlfriend. I didn't see her the next shift. The milkshakes, they even taste better from the white girl that got a promotion before me, even though we were hired on the same day. But it's still my pleasure to serve you smiles that dam away the 6 hours of tears I can't cry in public. I'm supposed to get a break, at least 30 minutes from being Black, woman, lesbian. I guess being a triple threat is a full-time job oppressed in a part-time paycheck. Division has become more common than Division has become more common than colds, and I don't like being sick of prejudice. I've been told that families who pray together stay together. We should try it sometime. Thank you for that one. The next piece is called America Wake Up. This is probably one of my favorite pieces, so here we go. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? America, wake up, because we've got work to do. We are living in a perpetual war zone by schedules with unidentified ending times. Police brutality isn't even uncommon, and it's scary. Society is crazy. These emotions are my ammo, and the gun is my voice, because Blacks nowadays don't even have a choice. But God bless America on everything and don't even believe in his power. Just these bullets banging in Black backs, causing morning sickness for all the women and families that carried them. Because back then, a couple years ago, it was Sandra, Eric, Mike, and Philando. Now it's Ahmad, Brianna, George. I mean, come on. So many more of them shown heaven's doors too soon, and this ain't even nothing new. Just goes back to 1619 during slavery, to Black and white segregation, and even with the Emancipation Proclamation and the Declaration of Independence, our independence is still limited, so we've got work to do. Because on 4th of July, we can't even decipher between these fireworks and gunshots. We've got a notice of eviction on Black Bats. He's just selling CDs out of his trunk, just trying to make a living, but you're not giving him enough time to pay his rent. But I guess that's just the world we live in. It's fear versus fair, and I can't even put my hands in the air to comply when people see it as a threat, so we got work to do. We got work to do. Because people are promising peaceful protests. Can't let politicians keep politicking our racial problems. And this presidential campaign has got me going insane because Trump's still making promises he doesn't plan to keep, like his hands to himself. And Obama's term has run away so fast, and I guess you could call it Usain, because I wish he had more time. Like Alton and Trayvon, like my fathers and sons, we gotta stand up now. Not wait on the shots of a gun, because these amendments don't mend our days nor live up to their requirements. Because too many of my people are knocked out, and I figured that's why our flag carries so many stars. Amendment number 2. The right to bear arms denied to Corinne. Amendment number 6. The right to speedy trial denied to Centoya. Amendment number 8. The right to deny unlawful arrest denied to Alton, but that's just to name a few, because Blacks were only viewed 3/5 a person until Amendment 14. November 22nd of 2014, a little boy, 2 years shy, Tamir Rice was only 12. Gunned down and died, and I'm tired of all the hashtags and lullabies for every undeserved goodbye, singing, we'll understand it better by and by. As a consolation to another Black Life celebration. So I refuse to pledge allegiance to the flag of the ununited States of America, nor to the republic for which it stands, because we are not one nation under God. Blacks are invisible, just like the entire truth in our history textbooks. So we need to stop being afraid to speak out. Stop using the race card in reverse like white people were denied their rights first. No longer can we sit in courtrooms and look at race nonchalantly when we're promised equality, because there's no liberty, no justice. And this freedom costs so much more than its title. So America, wake up, because we got work to do. For the land of the free and the home of the slave. Thank y'all.
Khaya, Northcross, y'all, with Southern Word Poetry. Please give her a follow on social media. Really fast, just a reminder, those of y'all who are listening on Facebook and you've been to the Poetry and the Brew Facebook page, go ahead and post some links in there just to help people out in terms of where to donate. That'd be really helpful. All right, y'all, we're just gonna keep it going. This next poet, very accomplished, and can't wait to hear her read. Give it up for Carolyn Randall Williams.
Hi, y'all. I'm so excited to get to share, and I will be brief with my introduction, except for to say I've been thinking a lot lately about reparations, and I've been thinking a lot about truth and reconciliation, which is the actual practice of calling to account the wrongs that have been done in order to heal and move forward. And to me, that's sort of the psychological and emotional reparations that will also be required. So this is a little triptych of poems. The first one, a lament to police brutality that I wrote watching the news after Parkland, but thinking about, Charleston and Aurora and Oklahoma City and every other time that somebody was peaceably apprehended by law enforcement who happened to be a white man who did egregious things. The next poem is two white men who have been, perpetrators of egregious sins against Black female bodies throughout this country's history and the history of the world. And then the last one is to white women who have been a really profoundly complicit group in so much of what's wrong in this country. And I timed them and they all fit within our framework, never fear. This first poem is called Which Lives Matter. They found the shooter and arrested him without incident. They found the shooter and arrested him without incident. They found the shooter and arrested him without incident. They found the shooter and arrested him without incident. They found the shooter and arrested him without incident. They found the shooter and arrested him without incident. They found the shooter and arrested him without incident, and arrested him without incident, and arrested him without incident. This next poem is called Other Ways to Say Blackface. Take the cork, he said. We were out walking. It made me feel free, he said. I stopped walking. I said, I'm sorry. I beg your pardon. Take the cork. Do you mean blackface? Yes, that's right, he said. It's natural to want to be different, to want to feel free. Oh, white boy. Oh, Lord. Oh, tell me, sir. Yes, tell me how you want to feel free. Oh, boy, here on my street. Tell me, do I make you free? Am I your new black face? I mean, my black face next to yours, my black mouth on your mouth. Does that free you from your trim white body like that cork do? Am I just your little thick, black, sweet corkscrew? You know how it works, he said. After your parents have opened the bottle of wine, take one and burn the bottom. Take one, I said. One what? I said, oh, the cork, I said. Oh, right. Oh, white boy. Oh, Lord. Oh, the street fell away. I'd let you put your hands on my body in both of our wanting. And now you say blackface, and you say free, and you say natural, and you look at me and you say free again, and burn the bottom. And before I can conjure your young white hands, would they match burned cork, smudging your face till it feels black and free. I am afraid of how much you don't know. And I am afraid of how much I can stand. Oh, white boy. Oh, Lord. Oh, take your cork. Put it back in the bottle. Stop up everything left of that strange nostalgia. Stop looking to feel free in my skin. Give it back to me. Without the burn, without the cork, my skin looks to you like the freedom your skin is. This last one's called To All the White Girls Who, and it was written days ago in the wake of all of the ways that people are navigating how to reach out to Black people in this moment. To all the white girls who? To all the white girls who made me feel ashamed of my body, who made me feel confused about how and why I exist in your space. I hope you have lived in fear of this poem. I hope you have been afraid I would name you and shame you. You did me such violence. You didn't mean, you meant, girl, you mean. I mean, whether you meant to or not, you made me a murderer of my tiny black girl joys. They could not gain purchase in your smoothly white space. I killed pieces of myself to survive you. And now you are listening. You want to learn. You see me. You hear me. So here, I say, resurrect my pieces, gal. Or get your lesson. I do not care who you are today. I cannot stand you to survive this world without some record of your hateful gaze. It's simple. Your children should know you carelessly hurt Black people. And hey, if you raise them right, they might think less of you. But listen, I don't even know how to want to wish you well. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Carolyn. And you also have a book out, Lucy Negro Redux, and that is available, as well as a cookbook. Appreciate you reading again. We are going to keep it moving, but really fast, just to reiterate, if you go to Gideon's Army and donorbox.org/Gideon's Army, you can donate to them. Very helpful, and a local organization doing a lot of great local things. All right, our next poet coming to the screen right now. I have seen her at Poetry in the Brew, Poetry in the Boro. Can't wait to hear her today. Please give it up for Sommer, Jade.
Oh, y'all see me? Great. Okay, so I'm Sommer Jade. I'm just gonna do one for tonight. Can y'all hear me? Can everybody hear me? Yes, no, maybe? Okay, great. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna do one. I was in a space, but I'm not exactly in that space anymore, so let's get it. I am grieving with a global community of African-American kings and queens, as we have watched too many sons and daughters, too many mothers and fathers, too many wives and husbands, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, and cousins, our loved ones. We've watched too many best friends and colleagues, too many educators, advocates, and too many leads be executed by trigger-happy, hateful police and pretend police, neighborhood watchers, and random racists who destroy life in order to reign supreme. It's so extreme that we've watched our loved ones get shot down and be left in the street, that we've been denied the basic human right to even breathe. We have watched vividly our Black men plead for a mere breath, gifted by God, yet be remorselessly taken by cops, by killers dressed as cops. We can't even sit in our own homes and have a bowl of ice cream. Shawty can't sleep without non-knocking, plain clothes wearing Ku Klux cops opening fire and forcing entry. It's like we can't walk the street, we can't be social without someone calling police. It's so hurtful that being Black is so criminal that even with our hands up and our backs turned, they still fear us though. We're disgusted by those who have eyes to see and still choose to be blind, nauseous of steps in the right direction, resulting in another sad hate crime. We're drained of the hashtags, exhausted of saying their names, bleeding crimeless deaths while murderers get to walk away. We groan with indescribable emotion and we plead, yet they still choose not to hear and have us bound by the neck under their knees. Get off! I can't breathe! We can't breathe. The truth is that our Black power does not equal white oppression, yet they enslave us. Nor our Black love equate to white hate, yet they hate us. And unsurprisingly, their white power results in a bloodlust, open season against us. We're walking on eggshells in stores and parks, hoping they don't lie just so racists can kill us. Enough is enough. Stop killing us. Truth is that even when they see us, they still don't see us. And somehow we've got to be encouraged. Be encouraged that God sees the blood of his people spilled in the earth, that he's not just sitting on his throne watching us hurt. We've got to have hope that those who have eyes to see will finally see us, that those who have ears to hear us will finally hear us, that there are advocates on the way that do not and will not allow themselves to be blinded by false stigmas and perceptions of us. And let us express to you, people who are not of color, our gratitude, speaking out for the voiceless. We appreciate you. So keep speaking so we can keep breathing. Keep speaking so we can keep breathing. Thank you.
I appreciate it, Sommer. Thank you so much. And you can read more of Sommer at the website, thehtelife.wordpress.com. That's thehtelife.wordpress.com. Also, again, just a quick reminder on the donations. If you want to donate to Southerners on New Ground, just go to database.southernersonnewground.org/donate. So there we go. Just want to keep that out there. This next poet coming to the stage, he's been waiting all night to grab the mic. So let's give it up for Shondell McFall.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes, sir.
Sweet. I just want to say before I start reading, I'm really honored to be amongst all of you. Like, all the stuff, I don't consider myself a poet. I write, but I don't consider myself a poet. Everything I've heard tonight, I'm moved. So this is for all of you. Hi, my name is Trouble. You might have heard of me. I have a pedigree, but I'm being subtle, sea or ocean. I can't recall. Oh, it doesn't matter at all. In this nucleus heralds Brutus. Caution, listener, it gets ruthless. You feel a pull, a tug, so you fidget and you shrug. No. This is not the way to go. Hey, whoa. What the fuck do you know about me, ho? Have you felt the weight? The weight, have you felt it? I think it feels fine today. Wait, hold up. We don't even need these. But still, they look fly, don't they? Niggas came over here in chains, but we still wear them today. No shame in our game. We played yours just the same. You know, sleepers dream about the strength to hide the meek, but put shoes on your feet. There's commotion in the streets, and we have promises to keep. I will stay the path I plowed and paid for, so my sins might one day become my savior. I can say my paradise is bought and paid for. But for now, you can add slave to that list of labels. But no more. This 4-score or red rockets glare, I don't fucking care. The audacity. Oh, you haven't seen the last of me. I'll be posted up. Newsweek, Vice, NBC. Don't play with me. You plant your seeds with dirty deeds, and these motherfuckers aren't cheap. They cost the equivalent exchange. What you reap is what you sow. So the partition is down. The veil has been lifted. You've unleashed the ire of 400 years. Bear with me. I have a son whose mom is white. Her plight is understanding that our son may not be all right. Legacies are built from the ashes. The youth are the future, so please show up to your classes. This is not for you or what you think is due. We gave you our servitude, but now we are through. But who are we? Who are you to think the thoughts we suffered and roiled our penances taught? Years upon years, we learned the ways to fighting your wars and putting your poison in our veins. This trouble you've caused, it gets your invitation. It studied our ancestors from plantation to the next generation. Hell yes, this is my station. The rabble in the world is unfurled, exclaiming, I'm your girl, and these are my demands if you ever think you want to fuck me again. But let's not leave this on notes that sour. The hour at hand may not be dour. The growl for equality has never been louder. So I bequeath these words to you always. Fight the power.
Keep it going for Shondell. Also, he organized and put together our flyer for the showcase. So again, appreciate that so much. And you can follow him at the Electric Lotus. That's at the _electric_Lotus. So there we go. Are y'all ready for your headliner for the night? All right. I'm gonna take that as a yes. I'm gonna take that. Yo, coming from what looks like to be the hottest speakeasy in Nashville, please give it up for Ciona Rouse.
I am in the hottest speakeasy in Nashville. It's my house. Thank you so much, Nick, for being an excellent host and for guiding us through this night. Thank you so much to Poetry in the Brew and Poetry in the Boro for elevating Black voices often throughout these years, but especially tonight. And thank you I want to shout out to all the organizations that we are supporting tonight. I hope that if you can, that you are giving them something. Gideon's Army, whom I love and love and love and really believe are an example to the rest of the world of what we all can be as humans. And then Southerners on New Ground and Black Lives Matter Nashville. Thank you for the work that you do. And then in no way am I a headliner. I have just been moved all night. So thank you to the beautiful humans that have read before me who we all know that our voices matter. And I think we've known for a long time that our voices matter. And so thank you for elevating your voice and using it. And I'm going to read some poems. I believe what we learn and what we teach our children is of utmost importance, and especially the things that we learned when we were younger. And I spent some time looking at Grimm fairy tales. And there's one that is called How Some Children Played at Slaughter. Grimm's fairy tales get really gross. And I started thinking about all the ways that we play, and we teach our children to play at terrible things. And specifically this one is from my first day of first grade. And so it's called How Some Children Play at Discrimination. You don't need no sign, no poorly scribbled letters like a lemonade stand, said Leanne. You simply climb to the top of the jungle gym, and from the top you look down and say no, but only to the dark-skinned girls. You say no, you don't get to play here. You remind them of the last wide nostril girl with cornrows for hair, how she tried to climb. You remind them you kicked her, her blood and busted tooth tainted the metal. You remind them the teachers wouldn't let anyone on for 10 whole days. No, said Leanne, we're not letting them take what's ours, not ever, not again. One of the things my parents taught me was that my life did very much matter. And so I ran to the teacher and told on Leanne right after that moment. The day before George Floyd was murdered, I actually had a small but emergency surgery. And so I was forced into a time of self-care as everything was, as everyone else was rising up and protesting and speaking out, I was forced to really be inside my body. And so this poem, I think, speaks to care as a form of resistance, self-care. It's called Care. Today I braided my hair. Let each slide down these textured strands massage the pads of my fingers. Today I also took a bath with bubbles and Epsom salts and candles, which created a wild glow on my skin each time I lifted my leg and watched the bubbles jazz back to the water. Today, I also listened to Billie Holiday. She asked a willow tree to weep on her behalf and I wished nature would work that way. I wished a gardenia could cover some of my mistakes. Also, I drank a cup of tea today, Earl Grey. Today, I read Wanda Coleman poetry, counted how many bottles of water I consumed. I napped. I ran a few miles in bright clothes. I have cried for trees before, but I never thought to ask one to drop its leaves for me. Today, I stopped by the sugar maple before untying my running shoes. I know you don't have weeping in your name, I said, but maybe you can at least tremble. I sat on one of its roots today. I said some names many of us now say, and we both shook. The maple and me. I pulled loudly on oxygen. She let me sit there, breathing. And I want to end with a poem that I was thinking, Jasmine, when you were reading about your grandma and that smile that you had on your face. I loved seeing it. And I do want to end with a grandma poem. It is called Enchanted. Grandma's house, Camden, South Carolina. 6-year-old me pinched the stem of the honeysuckle and slid it away from its horn. A trombone about to crescendo, good nectar on my pink tongue, even though my grandma said, don't eat any more sweets before dinner, even though she said, don't go tasting berries and leaves from trees, you're not a barbarian. I figured a flower was neither candy nor sycamore. I figured its name was instruction and it would be cruel for us not to suck. So my sister and cousin and I tasted the whole golden bush that lined the chain link fence. We tiptoed around just to peek into the window of the neighbor woman's dark house, perhaps catch a glimpse of her and pray not to turn into gray stone, since she was a witch, since her long silver strands covered her face, which we'd never seen before, which was the only evidence we used to confirm her witchy ways. Even though Grandma promised to whip us real good with a switch, we'd pick ourselves from the limb of the wintered crepe myrtle if she caught us messing with the neighbor woman again. And I miss those days of broken rules in order to taste delicious, of believing the world's inside our brains, back when I was going to be president of the United States and an author and cure cancer on the side. Back when I slipped into a clumsy dress I built out of magnolia leaves, strings and staples so I could marry Thomas in the backyard. Back when we adorned our heads with imaginary crowns and called each other queens. And though even then people hijacked planes, blood terrorized bodies, a guy named Ted left boxes exploding in parking lots. Even then my dad sifted through threats from Klansmen. Even then I learned to stand without crumbling all the eggshells on the floor of our house. And yet the scariest scary we knew then lived next door to Grandma, and we wanted to look her in the eyes and scream and run fast from her spell deep into our thick giggles. And at night all the cousins blew kisses to the earth's ebony ceiling, telling the glimmering buttons that keep it together, thank you, thank you, thank you for how you hold the sky, how no matter what, you never let it fall down and defeat us. Be not defeated, friends. Keep your voices elevated. Thank you.
Ciona, Rouse, everyone. Thank you so much for closing out our show. Just a couple things. Her book, Vanta Black, from Third Man Books, is available. Feel free to pick that up. And just one more time, I also want to thank the organizations that are doing so much good here in the Nashville area. Southerners on New Ground, again, a regional queer liberation organization made up of people of color, immigrants, working class, and rural and small town LGBTQ people, committed to building freedom movements and Southern traditions through food, storytelling, music, performance, critical thinking, and celebration. Black Lives Matter Nashville, you can donate to them at paypal.me/Black Lives Matter Nash. And again, it's the local chapter, and just again working for the validity of the Black Liberation Movement. You can follow them on Instagram at BLM_Nashville. And then again, Gideon's Army, you can find them at Gideon's Army United. They act collectively, boldly, and strategically as a unified force for all children. They eliminate the root causes of the prison pipeline, save our children from death and incarceration, and guide them to a secure path to success. You can donate to support the community directly. That's at donorbox.org/Gideon's Army. And all of these organizations, if you are feeling led to help out physically and donate your time, they are more than accommodating for that. So just wanted to shout that out. A couple more sponsors here. Again, Poetry in the Brew. They have a weekly poetry showcase or mic, and just want to give a big shout to Kayla and Christine for helping us out with this. Poetry in the Boro. Big shout to Greg for helping us out. I want to thank everyone on Facebook listening and watching with your watch parties. We really appreciate it. And then just one more time for all of our performers, K.H.A.O.S, Tiana Clark, Henry L. Jones, Frank Frizzy Sykes, Jasmine Dominique, Christian Collier, Mama, all caps, no cap, Cat Marshall, C.A. Williams, Dr. Destiny O. Birdsong, Khaya Northcross, Carolyn Randall Williams, Sommer, Jade, Shondell, McFall, and Ciona, Rouse. Thank all of y'all so much. We're going to try to do this again soon. We've set a really high bar, but I think we can meet it though. So thank y'all again. Have a good weekend and a great rest of the night.